What's good, my lovely peoples? It's your main man Solace here, the humble servant of the Life. I want to do this video today called the Mandela Effect. Brother Marvin Williams asked me to do it. So I'm going to do this video for y'all. Now, some of y'all may know what the Mandela Effect is. Others of you may not. But you can go to YouTube, type in Mandela Effect, and get an understanding of what that is. Now, basically with the Mandela Effect, you have people that notice there's like a change in the reality. Meaning, over time, certain things changed. Like Looney Tunes. If you're my age or older, when we was growing up, Looney Tunes was spelled Toons. Now it's changed to Tunes. You have other things like Captain Crunch. It changed now to Cap in Crunch. Now, young people probably wouldn't know the difference because it's always been Cap and Crunch for them. But you have to be my age. You have to be back in the King Vitamin days when they gave that out with the free block of cheese and stuff like that. This poor stuff, I know y'all getting money, so y'all don't know nothing about that. But King Vitamin, around this time, Captain Crunch said Captain Crunch. So you have to grasp. They notice small things in the life that change. And they come to the conclusion, being as though they don't know why this happens, they assume that there's a split reality or some type of duality type of thing going on where you exist in two realities at once and somehow we're swaying back and forth in between them. And then the theories and the thoughts go deeper and deeper, and this is how men become lost from reality, from not having knowledge of what is what now. See, we reach to know the spiritual world. Y'all reach to know where the ancestors are and where the ghosts, ghouls, goblins, demons, devils, the invisible stuff. Y'all reach to know what that is and how can you tap into that. But y'all don't grasp this physical reality. So what do you think will happen if you learn that, not grasping this? You probably will never even tap into that. But if you happen to, this is why bad things happen, because men learn things before they are supposed to. Learn one thing first to know another. This is why you have the NASA and all of this. They're testing things out. Mind you, they don't need to test anything if they gain knowledge of reality. First, they have to begin to look at the planets and all the things they see as alive and living entities. Once they do this, they'll start to grasp things. Those with the Mandela Effect, same thing. Now, there is a split reality. So when brothers say, oh, I want to tap in and talk to the ancestors and deal with the spiritual realm, this is real. But being as though they don't have true knowledge of this physical realm they're in, they never grasp that realm. They never grasp the understanding to know that is not an unphysical realm. It is physical also. But you can't see it because you are not there. See, grasp. You have many rooms in a home. But whatever room you are in, you can physically see. You can't see into the living room if you're in the bedroom. Now, do you need to be in the living room to know it's there? No. If you grasp the bedroom and you grasp the house, then you know what's what in the rooms you are not in. This is why I never go into the spiritual. So brothers will say, man, Solace don't touch on the spiritual. He says whatever you can't see isn't real. This is why I don't touch on that. Because you must grasp this first before you go to that. Now, when I say nothing is unphysical, everything is physical, it is. But that's the problem. Y'all can't see. What if I can see all things? Just because you can't see a thing doesn't mean it isn't physical. You can't see the cells in your body, all the sperm cells in the semen, but you know they are real and physical. So grasp, there is nothing that is unphysical. You just can't see it. Now grasp the spiritual realm, where the unphysical would be. This is a matter of, when I broke down in the beginnings to y'all, gluons, quarks, leptons, remember that? So now, up and down quarks. Then you have anti-up and down quarks. So grasp. These things become matter. Atoms then matter. Now grasp. You have matter and antimatter. Antimatter is what you can't see. So they say. And matter is what you can see. But they can see antimatter. How else would they know it is there? So grasp. You have to have knowledge to know a thing. They tell you matter is physical, antimatter isn't. You don't question. If it's not physical, then how do you know? In that you will grasp. When Solace says there is no such thing as unphysical and physical, it is all the same, you have to grasp. Hydrogen and nitrogen is a real thing, and you know that. It is a physical thing, but you can't see it until it merges together and becomes water. Now, when it merges together and becomes water, it's still oxygen and hydrogen unphysically doing what it does. So you have to grasp. It is like this. Almost like the splitting in the egg. There's a duality, you can say. So there's action, reaction. If I slap you, you'll do whatever you do back to me. Now, all I'll see is that whatever you did back to me wasn't right. And all you'll see is that I slapped you. So whatever you did was justifiable. And this is how that works. You'll only see where you are. So grasp. How can I break this down? You have antimatter. You have matter. So you have 0, 1, 2, 3. 0, -1, -2, -3. So grasp. You have a 50-degree day and you have -50 degrees. So, but they're both the same. You grasp that. You know them both. This is how that spiritual realm thing, this is how y'all word it, but it's truly the anti-matter to the matter. And you are amongst the matter. But they're one in the same, so you truly can swerve in and out of them both. But you don't have knowledge of where you are. This is why I break things down that I break down. So if you can grasp those things, you can grasp these things. So now when those guys who are noticing the Mandela Effect, if they seen my videos when I broke down how space and time is the same, and I was breaking down to y'all how when you're sleeping, you're time traveling, then they can grasp. When you traveling through time, you're altering the reality. Because you're not supposed to do that. Now, when you sleep, you're traveling through time. but not fast enough and not a long enough space for it to truly alter the reality enough. But let's say after 30, 40 years, you may alter the reality enough to where Captain Crunch is now Captain Crunch. So grasp. But this is not important. What is important is this is where death lies. This would be that other reality. So you have the living, what we would call living, and then you have the death. And then you have the living. So this would be physical, unphysical, physical. Now, death would be the way to the other realm. Grasp this. Death would be the way to the other realm. But you're not dead yet. So how do you get to the other realm or tap into the other realm without dying? You must do things that will bring you close to death. Grasp. When you're sleeping, you're tapping into another realm. Grasp. But sleep is close to death, and this is why you can do that when sleeping. Meditation. True meditation. You bring your heart rate down. You become to a complete relaxed state of meditation. And this is why they may see or hear certain things, because they are going close to death, which is the doorway to the other reality. So you have to grasp this is the way to it. But you won't get to it through your meditation because you don't grasp this now. You don't truly grasp the things I tell you. When I say the sperm is the spirit, you don't really grasp that. So now you can't grasp how that works. How do I tap in and this is how men tap in and they lose themselves. This is how you get voodoo and things of this nature that you hear of in a negative way. This is how they become negative. Because men get to try to know things before they know things. You got to know numbers before you know math. Men try to know things before they know things. This is why I don't deal with the unphysical or the spiritual realm, as y'all would call it. The anti. I don't teach it to y'all yet. Because y'all don't grasp this yet. So y'all ain't gonna grasp that anyway. But it is one and the same. When you shoot a gun, the bullet flies out fast, the shell goes this way. So it is all one and the same. You have to just grasp an understanding of a thing. When the sperm goes into the egg, you get the splitting. So grasp. When you get the up and down quark, you get the anti-up and down quark at the same time. So the life goes both ways at the same time. But you don't need to be in them both at once because they're one and the same. Doesn't mean what you're doing here, it doesn't work like that. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with how the ascending of life works. So death is the doorway to the ascent to the next life, which would be the heavenly bodies you see up above. Now, in between going to that physical reality, you must go through the anti, which would be death, spiritual world. This is what y'all name it. But it is truly nothing. Things go from the unphysical to the physical. Hydrogen and oxygen becomes water. If I said it wrong in the beginning, that happens. Hydrogen and oxygen becomes water. Water becomes evaporated and it goes back to hydrogen and oxygen to become water again. So you have to grasp it is the same things. You must understand. The way to the spiritual is through death. And when men become close to that, even if it isn't their time, they may see and hear and notice things, but that is not their reality. That is that reality, and that reality is for its purpose. So that you can become physical again. So men just must grasp before they destroy themselves with lack of knowledge. We have a lot of knowledge with a lot of lack of knowledge. So you see how that works? Men know many things, and there's so many things they don't know that go with it. Because they rush. They don't give themselves a chance to grasp a thing. You don't have to rush. You will get to the spiritual world anyway. So grasp. But you can know as opposed to just getting there. So as opposed to you be living now, as opposed to you living now how you are, and you don't know shit, you was born and ain't know shit, so shall you be in that realm. But it doesn't have to be that way. See, you don't have to be grown and not know nothing. But you listen to men and everything you can listen to because you think this is the way you'll get wise. And in this, you truly grasp nothing but a bunch of stuff. So just grasp the thing, man. I hope I gave y'all some knowledge on that. If not, I'll come back and break it down more. Because the spiritual is very hard to explain. But if a man can grasp the physical, it is one and the same. He'll grasp it. It's your main man Solace, the humble servant of the life. Be kind.